Hey yo, good morning. Guess you can tell by the look on my face and the color of my shirt. Just finished that good old PRT. Got some of that cardio and endurance. Hey, with that being said, from time to time, I think about people I grew up with. I think about the people that, I serve with. I think about the people that have been with me for the long haul through the trials and tribulations, the victories and the failures. And one guy keeps popping up in my mind. And I reached out to him this morning and, got confirmation with him that I could share his story. Because it truly is a story of a rise of a super athlete, trials and tribulations and setbacks, and the fall of a king, and then the redemption and the resurgency of a man, a father, a brother, and a community leader. I'm talking about my main man I grew up with, Mr. Johnnie Brimmer, Mr. JB. So, it's no secret if you talk to me. My childhood was split between Louisiana and North Carolina, two great states, completely different in the way they operate and think community-wise and state-wise. So with that being said, I moved from Louisiana. I was a little Caucasian redneck kid, had a bowl cut with a rat tail, malnourished, and I moved with my dad in North Carolina and got introduced to, a better quality of life, so to speak. With that being said, when I started 5th grade, I didn't have any friends and I talked a little bit different. I had an accent, had a real southern drawl, and my clothes were a little different, right? So my dad schooled me up in the clothing game, got me my first pair of Converses. I was kicking them old school. My first day of 5th grade, Miss Murrow's class, I walked on a basketball court. And back then there were 4 5th grade classes and each one had a basketball team. And each one, that's what you did. Year long, every recess, you battled other classes. And it came down, of course, I just happened to be put in the right class with the right people, and we always won. I think we lost twice the whole year, and that's still up for debate. We're waiting on the officials to come back with the replay. So with that being said, I met a man named Mike Shepard, Mr. Mikey Shepard, right? And we became really good friends. I hit the game-winning shot the first day. Now, I've never been good at basketball. I've been okay. I just kept getting picked for teams because I hustle hard and I wasn't scared to take on the big guy. Well, I made this shot. I got, picked for the team, and I played with him day in and day out. Well, how does this matter with Johnnie Brimmer? This is the preface to how I met Johnnie Brimmer, right? So then I started hanging out with Michael Shepard. Then in 6th grade, I actually moved down the street from him on this little strip called Bogue Loop, right? Them Bogue Boys. So we were over there, and I was a little Caucasian kid and learning a new culture, new dynamic, which I'm grateful for. Has built many lessons in my life and taught me multiple things and let me see the world in a different light, from a different perspective. So with that being said, Mike had a couple cousins, phenomenal athletes. Not that Mike King Hustle Hard Shepard isn't an athlete himself, but I met a guy named Johnnie Brimmer, right? A couple years older than me. He was just that kid in the neighborhood, that kid in the school that was a world-class athlete. Like, put a toothpick in his mouth, chew on a straw, always looked cool, never got upset, just showed up on a football field, a basketball court, or a track and dominated. I remember in high school, I think we were playing tops, or they were playing tops, so I was JV, he was varsity, and he had a 99-yard punt return, and then he was a running back too, and he had like a toss for 40, 50-yard touchdown. The guy was phenomenal. Anyways, high school, amazing. Goes on to college, plays, leaves college, joins the army, gets injured, gets out, right? So the rise of a king. He did everything he was supposed to do, just a couple setbacks got him. The fall, right? Mr. JB goes back home. Gets wrapped up in some things, does some things that, against the law, you probably shouldn't do. And he pays his time. He serves just shy of a decade in prison, right? So he comes out, and this is the story of resurgence and redemption, and this is why I'm proud to call Johnnie Brimmer my brother, and he will always be a role model for me, even though he made a couple mistakes in life. And the reason why is, if you follow him on Facebook, or you look at him anywhere, if you talk to him and you see the things he says and the way he carries himself, he's all about his son. He's all about giving back. He's hyping up the next great athlete. He's showing up to support the local high school teams, and he's showing up to support younger cousins and nephews and nieces and everything. But what I want to show is that he's in his community. He has a job. He goes to work every day. I literally called him this morning and he didn't answer, and he texted back. He said, hey brother, I wish I could have answered, man, but I'm at work. I just got to work. 7 o'clock. He's at work. And a lot of people work, I get that. That's not a huge feat. But for a convicted felon to come out and take the job he can get, he works construction, he works hard. He's always posting on Facebook. You'll know he's got his orange vest on, his hard hat, up there in the heights. JB, let you know, brother, I am still scared of heights, and that will never change, right? So he's up there doing something else I can't do. But with that being said, it's a short story. I want you to reflect on your life. Find your heroes, find your mentors, find your icons, and don't judge them on their failures. Accept them for the story of redemption. He is a good father, a good person, and a brother of mine. So if you get a chance, jump on Facebook. His name is Johnnie Brimmer. JOHNNIE BRIMMER. Mr. Brimmer, you are an idol to me. You have always been a role model. Thank you for taking me under your wing. And I'll never forget the paracletes you gave me when you graduated. I played in them the whole next season. And somewhere at my dad's house, they are still there. And I keep them just because they were worn by Johnnie Brimmer. For that being said, y'all have a great day. Look for inspiration in the people around you. And if you can't find it, create it and give it to the ones in your community. Y'all be blessed. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. JC3, be blessed.